Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Escaping Success podcast. I'm the solo host today, Tom Loeffler, and today I'm going to discuss part 2 of my experience from the Date with Destiny Tony Robbins conference. The first part I discussed how Tony's view on God and how trusting that everything is happening exactly as it's supposed to be happening, and to trust that I'm guided by a higher power, and how for me that works on relieving some anxiety, stress for future decisions. I guess also tying into this kind of recently in my own life from experience in the sense of trusting that I'm guided or trusting that everything is happening exactly as it's supposed to be happening. And also I guess going to trusting my gut. Now this is something that I sometimes struggle with, is this just my gut telling me this, or am I in the right position to make a decision? So a technique that Tony talked about in this conference is to make decisions from your heart. Because he says if you're in your head, you're dead. So something that I struggle with personally is I worry a lot, or used to worry. That's the big thing with Tony. I'm done worrying. I used to worry a lot about am I making the right decision? Is this the right move? With everything, relationships, finances, business, health, everything. I'm always worrying that am I doing something wrong? Is this decision going to hurt me, help me, whatever it might be. And so that came to okay, I'm worrying about making decisions. Okay, so why am I worried about making decisions? Because I don't feel like I'm making decisions correctly, or I'm not coming from the right place. I'm thinking with my logical mind versus my heart. So something that I'm going to do now moving forward since this event is make decisions from my heart. Again, Tony says, you're in your head, you're dead. And he says the best time to do this is early in the morning, first thing in the morning. Do a gratitude practice or gratitude breathing. Say at least 3 things you're grateful for, maybe a 5-10 minute nice peaceful meditation. So this process will look like what I'm going to do moving forward is wake up in the morning. I'm going to do my gratitude practice in the morning, which is my gratitude journal. Then I'm gonna sit and do some breath work, meditation-esque thing for at least a minimum of 5 minutes. Then I'm gonna say 3 things I'm grateful for. Then I'm gonna put my hands on my heart. Here we go, I'm not losing people. Put my hands on my heart and make a decision from there. So I'm not just gonna willy-nilly, middle of the day, be super stressed and be okay, I'm gonna make a decision now. No, I'm intentionally, in the morning before I have any inputs, my phone is away from me, it's on airplane mode, or it's not even near me. I'm not looking at texts, not looking at news, social media, nothing. First thing in the morning, wake up, do my gratitude practice, do a minimum of 5 minutes of a good breath work exercise. Probably you look on YouTube, there's something that gets you in your heart rhythm, heart path, in a sense of, just being calm, from a good place, gratitude, appreciation, love. Then say 3 things I'm grateful for. I'll put my hands over my heart and then ask the question and then get an answer. I think this way, it for me, relieves that worry of am I making a right decision, whatever. So I'm hey, I made a decision. I think that's a good thing too. Be decisive, make a decision. Don't sit in this uncertainty. I don't know if I should do this, I don't know if I should do that. This is something that I took away from this conference/convention is I spend so much time on what ifs. What if this decision doesn't work out in the business? What if this relationship doesn't work out? What if this supplement or foods in me are not good for me? What if? And it takes so much energy and time. It's distracting me from the present moment to not be fully in the present, joyful. Also, it's weighing on me stress-wise. So something that I am going to implement moving forward is, hey, if I have a decision that's weighing on me, I'm going to do exactly what I said. Take the time in the morning, make a decision from my heart, and then go all in. I'm not going to hesitate, be hey, I consciously took the time. This is a decision I'm sure is coming from the heart, and just go. Again, it's interesting too when you make these. I've done this practice. It's interesting when you ask these questions, what comes up. You might not get the answer you're expecting or you want, because your logical brain, my logical brain, might be saying one thing, do this, survival, whatever, logical brain. But if it's actually from the heart, and it's this is what my being, who I am, wants to make the decision. It might not be what I want to hear, but then I got to make a choice, decide am I going to make a decision from my head or from my heart? And so for me, that's once I learned that, I'm oh, that's going to save me so much stress, anxiety, worry about future decisions. Should I do this? Should I do that? And it'll give me more clarity. And I believe, if I make a decision from there, regardless of the right decision or not, I'm just going to go all in on that decision, and then I'll learn from the path. I'll learn from the mistakes. And this also ties into the hero's journey, which Tony talks about. We all have hero's journeys. Now, it might not be like the fairy tale, like going to slay the dragon, but either way, we are called to action. Now, I've realized in my life, sometimes you could be called or forced into action. Sometimes you don't have a choice. I think it's better to take the call and voluntarily be like, hey, I'm going to take this unknown path versus life just happened and I have to go then on this path, if that makes sense. So I've had health issues where I've had to go on this path because I had no other choice. Versus I wish I would just voluntarily be like, okay, I'm going to step out of the unknown and try to do something. And so Tony, again, talks about the hero's journey and how, through that journey, like it's very like the Wizard of Oz, he uses an example, you come across challenges, you gain friends, you gain new insights, and then hopefully like you reach a point of like, there's no turning back when you're on that journey. There's a moment where it's like, okay, you're at a point in the journey where you could go forward or go back, but there's no more staying the same. And that's the most scary time, honestly, because that's when you got to jump. You got to jump. It's like, do I jump forward or do I retreat back? And, and Tony says, that's the most pivotal moment because like you basically did the first, I think it's 7 steps, the first 5 steps of the hero's journey. And at step 5, that's where you have to make a decision. It's like there's no going back. Like you can't go back home. Again, Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz. But if you retreat, you can't go back home. You're stuck there. Or you take the leap of faith, unknown, and you don't know where you're going. And then this might bring you home. So it's like going into the abyss, the unknown. But if you stay there, you can't go back to where you started. But if you don't go forward, you might get to a place where you don't know. And then he talks about how, after the journey, you get new insight. You then, break through. Be able to go home, or what in Dorothy's case, or you gain a new insight and you can implement that life, or you become a better person. What I realize is like, you always got to be on a journey, a hero's journey. Otherwise, life will force you, and like, it doesn't always have to be. My mindset goes business, financial. Like I'm on the business journey of like the better business. All that. It could be like an introspective journey of like I want to discover myself, or I want to be a better, friend, or I want to be a better. If you have a partner, I want to be a better partner. Whatever that may be. And I realize progress is happiness for myself, and I think for majority of people, if you're not growing, you're dying. But progress doesn't have to be straightforward in like the analytical mind of, okay, if I'm just progressing my salary, or I'm just progressing the business revenue, or I'm progressing my bench press, like whatever that might be for somebody, it could be, am I becoming a better person? And like, I think it's so in today's, American society, like it's crazy to think of like, oh, like, what are you working on? I'm working on just becoming a better person. People are like, what are you talking about? Like, you should be working on getting a Ferrari, or you should be working on getting bigger biceps, like whatever that is. No, it's like, I want to be a better person. I want to be a better friend. I want to be a better, hopefully one day for me, a better father. Hopefully one day for me, a better partner in a relationship. Whatever that might be. Like, I think there's so many other metrics. Yeah, 100%. I think it's good, business to grow, salary to grow, to get a better physique, whatever that might be for you. But I do think it doesn't have to be so cut and dry on like, have to be better in the sense of like numbers or appearances. It could be more internal. And honestly, like for something I'm working on is I want to be better at being more joyful, present, and happy. That's my biggest, thing I'm working on right now. It's like my number one value / goal is like, I want to be in a state where like I'm excited. Have a compelling future. Like I'm looking forward to work again. I'm looking forward to my day. I think that, is progress for me. It might sound crazy to some people, but it's like some people, they just assume that progress in today's society is just numbers, or like, cars or houses or income. But I think the biggest thing in my viewpoint now is, so I've had more life experiences, like I want to get better and progress like as a person on, being more joyful throughout the day, being more fun, being more like free and, easygoing, and hopefully one day be a better, like more love to like a future partner that I may have, and be a present father, like, be so giving. Like that's one of my things that I really want progressing is like be just a great person. It doesn't have to be just like the most successful, most money. If that's for you, that's great, And I do want those things. Trust me, I'll be the first one to say, I want to be a multi-millionaire. I want to have, plenty of income. I want to be set nice, have some, some assets working for me. I want the biggest biceps of them all. Like I'll be the first one to say I want those things, but I realize, sometimes chasing those metrics of just business success, financial success, physical appearance success, and not focusing on internal or relationship success can leave you very empty inside. And that's honestly where I reached a point. Fortunately now I have better, friendships than I've had since probably high school, like I'm so blessed, but I worked at it. Like it was not just like, I'm gonna just, when I make a lot of money, we're gonna have great relationships. It doesn't work. I mean, hopefully it does work like that, but my perspective is like, you have to work at it. You have to be consciously like, okay, I want to be a better friend, or I want better connections or more relationships. I got to work on this area, or I want to be a better partner or a better husband or a better father. Like you have to intentionally, like how I intentionally worked at building a business or building my body, you have to intentionally work on relationships. And it could be exciting because like you're like, I'm tired of trying to make more money, or I'm tired of, trying to get the best physique ever, or I'm tired of trying to grow my business. So maybe it's time to refocus your energy and, still do those things, still work on growing your business, but like focus a lot on like maybe just enjoying the day more. Like have things you can look forward to each day, or try to find a good in different moments, or try to make someone smile. Like it doesn't, and that may propel you to do more financial success. Because if you have, my viewpoint is you have more money, more resources, it's a resource, it's a tool that gives you options. Money gives you options. It gives you options of time, gives you options of where you want to be, what do you want to do. It's a great resource. And I think I used to I never feared money, but people are like, oh, money's the devil, money's the root of all evil. Yeah, if you have bad principles and you use that tool negatively, but if you're a great person, you're a giving person, and like you want people's lives to be better, and you really care about people, like I think if you have a lot of money, you want to give it away, you want to spend it on people. Like my viewpoint, at least from my perspective, is if I I don't, money, like at a certain threshold, I think for people, you reach a point where like, okay, there's really no more happiness, no more joy really comes out of this money level. Real joy will come out of it when I could have the freedom to do what I want and give to people, or take people places, or do things I want to do. I think you have to find that balance of, I think money's great, but not make it your sole focus. I think you need it. I'm not stupid, you need money. I think it's like, okay, I want to focus on great relationships, or my own joy and happiness, being so good with myself, my faith, whatever that is. And that might propel, and I think that from my perspective, can propel me to want to make more money. If I'm happier and I enjoy my life, I'm going to want to live more of it. So I want more money to do stuff. When I have great relationships, I want to take my friends out. I want to treat them. I want to go places with them. I want to do things. Excuse me. So that's what I kind of realized too is, this conference kind of showed me, because it's called Date with Destiny, and I realized a lot of people were there that were hyper successful from our American viewpoint. Like they're multimillionaires, they, a lot of money, successful businesses, sold their businesses, whatever. On a paper, they're killing it, hashtag killing it, but there's something more that they're missing. They're looking for something more. And that's why a lot of them came there. Other issues, some of them just want more out of life, but there's something more they're looking for. They're looking for more meaning, more purpose or just more joy in their life. And so that's where kind of my perspective changed. Like, it's great to have hard goals. Hard goals are good, but like what's things that I value every day? Goals and values are very different. That's what this conference taught me. I think it's good to have hard hitting goals, hard to achieve, but values, easy to achieve. Make it easy to be happy every day. Make it easy to be loving every day. It doesn't have to be hard.